This is Michelle's Mystic Corner. No, I am not Michelle. As you can plainly see, this is Dax. Hey, everybody. Michelle will be here in a minute. She's having technical issues. We've got a fun show for you, really. She's going to be talking about spreads to help you connect with your deck. Okay. There we go.
So I have come up with my own spreads. I have one that is connecting with your cards.
Mm-hmm.
And with this spread, it is actually an 8-card spread. I don't usually do a lot of spreads
Mm-hmm.
unless it is for specific reasons, like connecting with your cards. If someone really wants a certain spread, I'll do that. So the one I have is a 8-card spread, and it is called Connecting with Your Cards. And so the first one is obviously you're asking your deck, what is your main characteristic? Because as you know, everything has energy, and our cards have their own energy and their own characteristics, right? So that's my first question to the card is what is your characteristic, your main, personality? And then the next 3 cards go together. And it's almost like a mini spread inside of this, right? And it is, will our combined strengths and weaknesses, you know,
Uh-huh.
um, will they strengthen or diminish the card's effectiveness? Because now you're putting your energy in with your card's energy. And so you do want to know, or is our weaknesses gonna, work against each other? And if so, what do we do about that? So that's why you want to use, 3 cards, because it's going to tell you, yeah, your weaknesses are going to do this, right? And so then we have the next 3 set of cards, 5, 6, and 7. What do we need to do to connect with each other? Because the cards are going to tell you. And so you just pull out your cards and you read the 3 cards, and they're going to tell you what you need to do. Okay. And then the last question on this one is, will we have a successful working relationship? And that is that spread. And then, of course, I left room for notes, as you can see. So that way you can write
Very cool.
anything on your page if you have any notes you would like to put on there. And this will be made available for anybody who would like a copy.
Yes, we're going to turn this into a PDF. I don't know if I explained that in the beginning of the show or not, but there's 2 different spreads. I'm going to try to get it all onto one thing, and then it'll be I think I mentioned this in the beginning of the show that I'm going to put it in the description below the video wherever you're watching it, whether you're watching it on Psychic Cafe or if you're watching it here on YouTube. Go down to the description and I'll have links to these. It'll be after the show, of course. We are live right now. It's going to be 2 or 3 hours after the show.
Right.
But if you're watching this in archive, it's probably already down there, if it's Sunday or Monday. It's already there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the next spread that I brought here today
Mm-hmm.
is the questions for our connection. So this spread, and I do have it on paper, but it did not turn out right. So I did send it to Dax. And this is a 9-card spread. And
Right.
I like to do more than one card at a time because I like to read, you know, 3 cards here, 3 cards there.
Yeah.
Um, and for this one, the first question is there something interfering with our relationship?
Mm.
So this is a good spread when you and your cards just do not seem to be working well together. And that happens, sometimes you're just feeling like the cards are not giving accurate reads. Things just are not working between you and your cards. So, is there something interfering with our relationship? Am I holding back when I'm working with you? And that's a big question because we don't want to admit when we're holding back sometimes. But when we are holding back anything, it does reflect in our readings or with our working with our cards. And then the third question is, do I need to work with you in a different way? Because sometimes we don't know that we're working with our cards in a way that just isn't vibing with their energy, right? And I know I've done that many times. And then 4, 5, and 6, those are three questions that go together. How do you prefer to be cleansed? Some cards, they don't want to be cleansed with sage. Some cards, they don't want to be put out under the moonlight. It's going to tell you their method of cleaning. Um, and then the last three is, what do we need to do to reconnect our bond? And that's huge because you want to reconnect with your cards. So you're going to let your cards tell you what they want from you and what they see as what feels good to them to be reconnected with you and to bond with you. So that is the second spread. And this also will be put, I'm looking up because I have YouTube on my big TV, sorry. um, but it lets you, be able to really dig deep. And then that's what the notes are for. I don't know if this page has notes, but that way you can just start writing, okay, this is what the card says. Now, what do I think? Are the cards accurate? Are the cards leaning towards, oh, there they are. Are the cards leaning towards telling me something I didn't know about myself? So, see, you can really learn a lot with doing these spreads.
Awesome. And we'll get a PDF for all this.
Yeah. And of course, there are simple spreads, there are 3-card spreads. I like the longer spreads.
That one's not too bad though.
It really isn't. Once you put, especially when you put them together, like, 1, 2, and 3 together, or 4, 5, and
Mm.
6 together.
Awesome.
So that's my take on doing spreads and connecting with your cards.
And Michelle talked about connecting last show. So if you want to go back in the archive, you can watch
That's
that
right.
portion too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why it's important. We talked about why it's important to connect with your cards.
Right, right.
Yes.